Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So if you want the secret formula of a viral video that's going to make everyone lose their minds, I'm going to tell you right now. All it is you have to do the rich versus the poor. And Cut did just that. This video they posted a few hours ago already has over 200,000 views. People are going crazy for it. It's called Trust Fund Kids and Minimum Wage Workers Play Truth or Drink. And because of that, I want to comment on this as soon as you hit the like button and subscribe, because I promise this is going to be an amazing video. Enjoy.
Where does your family's wealth come from?
Generational wealth, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
It's not an answer, though. The thing is, if you say, where does your money come from? You name the industry. Comes from real estate, comes from oil, comes from textiles. There's a whole bunch of it. It's just saying the money exists. It's been in the family. It's not where it came. Specify the industry. That gives us nothing.
Hi.
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 I'm Manuela.
I'm Lee J.
Hi, I'm Kashara.
Hi, I'm Kai.
What's the topic of the day?
Trust fund versus minimum wage.
Versus, huh?
Versus, because they're opposing each other. It's like they gotta compete. I guess for a game of truth or drink, we're gonna see which side gets the most drunk. Personally, I think probably the rich is gonna get more drunk. They're going to avoid more questions. Why? Because why draw attention to yourself? Why do that? A lot of rich people, like I'm talking like mega wealthy, they don't want people to know they're wealthy. A lot of these people will walk down the street, you'll have no idea, they shop at the same places, they drive an understated car, it's called quiet luxury, quiet wealth. And I think we're drifting towards that now. I think the mid-2000s, that was exuberance. Like when Ed Hardy and True Religion came in the game, that's when you knew you were at the peak. Everything else was downhill. Look at where we ended up after that. We hit a recession, okay? So now I think people are smartening up. Anytime you have a logo on something, it's seen as kind of tacky. So I think we're going in that direction.
I have a trust fund.
Definitely don't have a trust fund, so I'm representing the lower wage people.
Did you grow up with a trust fund?
I was born the last child of a wealthy, large family.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know you're rich when you say I'm the last child. It's not like you're the third or the second or like I'm the fourth child. You're the last. That means there's minimum 8. You have to have a large number to say I'm the last. No one says I'm the last child if you just have like an older sibling. Oh yeah, I'm the last kid. No, you're the last kid when there's 8 of them.
Are you too nervous?
A little.
Yeah, a little bit.
You want to start out with a shot?
Sure.
Sure.
Cheers.
If I were the parents, I'd be so nervous. My kid going on there talking about the family's wealth, exposing all the secrets, the Illuminati. All those secrets, they're drinking as they're doing. Like, all the bad decision making is gonna come out of these 2 bottles right here. Frankly, you should never drink and film, okay? It's just a recipe for disaster, especially when you don't have editing control over it.
How much is in your bank account?
Probably 80 bucks.
Wow. I'd be freaking out. Sorry.
$80 is low for anybody, okay? How does she pay rent? How is she paying her food? Now, I'm not saying, okay, she could have already paid the rent. This is like extra discretionary income for the, the rest of the week, whatever. 80 bucks has got to get her by for like food and gas. But anyone would be freaking out with $80. There's not a lot.
$3,000?
That's not bad. I know a lot of people who are in the negative, so 3,000 is not like.
Oh, I'm in the negative.
Oh.
I just pretend like I'm not.
Student debt or.
Yeah, and credit
all
cards and
that,
stuff, yeah.
So she's keeping cash and having credit card debt on the side. Maybe taking out some loans. None of that. Oh, man. Is Ramsey throwing up? Oh my gosh. Shit. The cat just threw up on the rug. Hold on. Now I gotta clean this up. Be right back. Have a cat, they said. It'll be fun, they said. See, this is why you always get cheap rugs, by the way. Get the ones off Amazon. I think this is like a $100 rug, and it's like a 12 by 12. So, the smell. Gosh, the smell is just making me not like that. There we go, crisis averted. Back to the video.
How much money are you worth?
Honestly, I'm not completely sure. I'm gonna guess 750K to $1 million.
Okay, so that's enough where her parents are basically like, you're never gonna have to be on the street, you're never gonna have to struggle, but, if you want more than that, you're gonna have to work for it. So this is enough to give her a boost. This is quite the safety net that she's able to pursue whatever she wants in life, give it 100% of her time without worrying about paying rent or bills.
Just shy of $1 million.
Do you think it affected your behavior?
It's part of the reason I ended up moving to Seattle. I knew that there wasn't as much of a risk moving here because I knew I would always have that that cushion to fall back on.
I wonder if people just not having that adversity, that's going to screw with them, right? Because, part of me thinks people have to have some sort of struggles in their life to overcome it. It's how you grow as a person. It's like having nothing to fall back on that's going to make you persevere and make things work. And going through those tough times makes everything else better. Like usually you come out, a more well-rounded person. Now you could also argue that by skipping that and having these advantages, you could pursue a lot more and maybe more diverse things and be happy. I don't know. But I'm just saying, at least for me, not having, $1 million just kind of waiting there, I think made me a better person.
How much money are you worth? Is it that large of a number?
It's tied up in assets, I guess. I'm not entirely sure of a number, so
Oh, okay.
cheers.
Oh, she knows. She knows. And I'm trying to think at what number would you start feeling uncomfortable? Probably for me, maybe 5 to 10 million. Because everyone else is like, it's about $1 million. It's like, okay, you kind of could wrap your mind around that. If she's worth like 10, 15 million dollars, that's the point where maybe you start drinking.
So you said you grew up wealthy, but you work minimum wage.
Yeah.
Has something happened?
I think just good work ethic. No matter how much money you make, no matter how much your family's worth, a good work ethic goes a long way. Everyone needs a good work ethic. And I think even going and working for minimum wage, whether that be for a week, a month, or a year, I think you need to have those experiences. I did that. I worked minimum wage doing data entry. I didn't last that long. I think I lasted 6 weeks. It back then it felt like forever, okay? But I did minimum wage data entry. I think it was like $7.85 an hour. And it really afterwards, it kind of messed with me because I remember how much I had to work for, the $7, $8, and that was like pre-tax, by the way. So let's just say after tax you make like, I don't know, $6.50, whatever, when things are taken out. And I would think to myself in terms of my time and $6.50. Like, why would I go and spend money in a Starbucks that was $5 when that was an hour of my time? I would have to spend an hour to drink a stupid Starbucks coffee. In what world does that make sense? So I started thinking in terms of what I could get for an hour of my time at minimum wage, how much I had to work for that, and I became very frugal. Like, there's nothing that'll make you more frugal than working $7 an hour.
A lot of things happened. Immigrating to the United States through mainline channels is extremely expensive.
Yes.
Do you hate the rich?
The issue comes into play when it's nepotism and when I feel like it's given to them and it's bought. So don't eat the rich, but just nibble them a little bit.
Nibble. I love it.
Yeah, I think his answer actually kind of makes some sense. There would be some resentment where you have like, he's just as qualified for a job, but the boss's grandchild wants to get in and is spoiled, didn't do anything for it, he gets in. Unfortunately, there's not much you could do about that other than be the best that you could be at whatever you're doing.
Have you ever gone without a meal because you couldn't afford it?
No. As you can tell, I'm a chunky bitch. You can make a pretty good meal out of dollar store stuff.
Resourceful.
Yes.
Or you could just, I hate to say it, just open up a credit card. Between skipping food and going in credit card debt, it's probably better to keep yourself fed.
Where does your family's wealth come from?
So my parents both grew up in Brazil, not well off at all. So my dad always knew that he wanted to leave Brazil. He's an engineer, so that's what brought us over here to the US. He works for Microsoft now.
Works for Microsoft, so he's probably, I don't want to say he's an early employee, but he's probably someone kind of high up, probably making anywhere between low-end 700 to high-end probably $2 million a year. So to me that seems about the range where you'd set your kids up with trusts.
Do you have career goals or?
I was working. I actually quit my job on Friday.
Oh, what was your job?
I worked in advertising, and I quit it partially because of the trust, because I was like, okay, I'm not going to end up homeless.
But then to me it's like, you quit something, it's like as soon as you dislike something, it's like, boom, gone, try something else. That's the thing that to me is like, no, you gotta grit through it. You gotta find a way to make it work, grit through it, try your best to find something better. Don't leave that job until you find something better. It's such a delicate topic when it comes to like money and kids and giving them things. I truly believe it's probably better, you know, spoil your kids maybe with experiences, with wisdom, with teaching, but not necessarily with money.
When have you felt most guilty for having money?
A lot, all the time. Yeah.
That's why she's on here. You could tell. She seems a bit ashamed of her wealth. She seems very embarrassed by it. It seems like she has a lot of guilt of why me? I don't deserve any of this. And that's why I think she's on here.
In what ways are you responsible for your financial situation?
I don't think society was set up for people that come from my like lifestyle. I didn't learn how to save until I was in my 20s. I'm learning on my own as I get older, like how to invest, how to save, how to do this 401k. I don't know what that was until like this year.
Yeah, you could, listen, I've been making videos like this on YouTube since early 2017 for like 6 years. So the info's out there. But it's up to you to know what to search for to find those things. I get it. You don't know what to look for if you don't know to look for it. I understand that. But thankfully, with things like YouTube, anything you need to know is out there already.
The mental clarity that I have overrides any need for more money. I think I need to take another shot.
Yeah. I gotcha, girl. I gotcha, girl.
They're only supposed to take a shot if they don't answer the question. Maybe just doing it for fun at this point. Maybe the drinking has nothing to do with this at all.
What are your biggest struggles in life?
I don't really know what I wanna do, really. My struggle is often like, how do I actually make myself happy beyond just like my basic needs being met?
That's it. That's probably going to be the biggest one when you have money. And then that solves the basic problems. Then you get bigger problems. The bigger problems aren't as easy to solve. Like with money, a lot of the basics are just like, how much do I need? If I have $5,000 a month, I could pay for X, Y, Z, and I get this. But then when you get this, then it becomes much bigger. And there's not a clear answer. How do I become happy? How do I find fulfillment? How do I keep myself from getting bored? How do I contribute? Where do I add purpose and meaning? It's like those things, it's not like you could say, oh, here's $1 million solved. Then it becomes a lot more introspective.
What are your biggest struggles in life?
My mental health is probably the biggest struggle. Growing up in wealth meant that I had to have a guard with me at all times, and then slowly I would realize that other people around me that I didn't know were also my guards.
Yeah, okay, so we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. Like even people worth like 50 mil. Now I know she comes from another country. They don't have guards and stuff like that. She's like a target. She's like from the Getty family. And they've been terrible with people trying to like kidnap them. I think it was like the grandson got kidnapped and the grandfather refused to give a ransom to the kidnapper because he said it would encourage other kidnappings of other people in the family. And that if one person gets a ransom, all of a sudden, they know that they're giving out ransoms. So they have to take a hard stance, say, no, we're not paying a ransom. But that screws with you. Like imagine your own family will not pay off someone who kidnapped you. Because it'll put like, I can't even fathom how terrible that would be and terrifying.
How was this experience, Yusuf?
I mean, I fully expected someone completely out of touch with reality because, of course, me feeding off of what society has told me, like you wouldn't know a struggle at all. But yes, you do.
This really needed to be longer. I really want Jubilee to do trust fund millionaires versus self-made millionaires. I think that would do fantastically well. I want to see more of the rich, poor, and how common that a lot of the interests are between people. Everyone deals with the same struggles, the same things. When you really get down to it, they're different problems. But at the end of the day, we're all people. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. And here's proof that if you're drinking, you could get along with anybody. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, feel free to add me on Instagram. And don't forget, if you want some free stocks worth all the way up to a few $1,000s when you make a deposit, I got a paid affiliate link down below in the description. Enjoy. Let me know which free stocks you get. Thank you so much. And until next time.